Who are you trying to sound like again?
Christian Bale from Batman.
So nothing like Christian.
No. I'm the Indian Christian Bale.
Christian shit in a pail. That's the Indian Christian.
Hey, you gotta stop saying that. We don't shit in pails.
We shit in
We
buckets.
clean our asses with water, not with paper.
This is
But we don't
episode
shit in
42
pails.
of the Ghouls. We have the great Lakshmi and Steve Kain here, folks.
Hello.
Is your mics on?
I don't know. I
Yes!
never going live yet and test it.
You're good. You're good. Okay, what's going on, guys? Lakshmi is going to back to India.
I'm not going back to India. I'm going to visit my parents.
You're going to visit your parents in
That's
India.
what you think, brother. Okay. Hold on to your britches, because here he comes.
As soon as Trump wins the election, Lakshmi's going to India. Does that coincide at all?
I don't think so.
No.
You voted for Kamala, right? You have a bit about it.
I voted for Kamala.
Oh.
Looks like
Get back.
It's his daughter. No.
But you're still staying in America, though?
I did
You're
the
not
joke
leaving?
both ways, actually.
What do you say?
I
saw
did the
Lakshmi,
joke both ways.
Yeah, I
Oh,
saw
okay.
Lakshmi. It was one of the best things I ever saw was Lakshmi doing pro-Trump material at the VFW. It was showing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Voting
did
for
the
Trump.
joke.
It was very good. It was like this is awesome. And I was like, I was doing a bit, and I said, "What about?" Somebody said, "What about Kamala?" I go, "Well, that's Lakshmi. He's running for president. That's Kamala." He goes, "Trump 2024."
Well, the good news is when you go back to India, you'll see a lot of kids wearing Harris 2024 shirts.
Probably.
That and the Eagle Super Bowl
but
shirts.
no,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Actually, India is probably more pro-Trump than pro-Kamala.
Oh, no, I'm saying that they send to underprivileged countries, they send the loser the merchandise.
The
to-
loser
Wait,
merchandise.
why is India so pro-Trump? I want to know.
I think a Republican government is better for business in general.
Okay.
India's economy depends a lot on outsourcing.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh, okay. It was.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with gay marriage or abortion or anything like that?
Well, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think
Well, I hear that
India has its own views and
Okay.
news about all of that.
Do you do anything with like regards to Indian politics at all? Do you study up on that at all, or?
I mean, I follow the politics in
Okay.
general. Like I don't.
How
Yeah,
does it,
I don't like politics. First of all, I
Yeah.
don't like politics, so I don't pay a lot of attention to it. But yeah, I know what's good. I mean, in general, I know what's going on.
Yeah.
Right. Like in my state, I know who's ruling and like how the politics is playing.
How does
so
India
maybe-
feel about trans athletes playing
Yeah.
with women in volleyball?
cricket leagues.
They use their cock as the paddle.
Well, I honestly don't know, but here's what I can tell you. I think there's a lot more awareness now, and definitely it's more visible, right? Like trans people are being more accepted. Like every once in a while, you'll see somebody like probably they were in the Asian Games or. Somebody like reached a high-ranking position in the police force.
Yeah.
So there's more awareness and there's more news.
Well, you
about
wouldn't
it
be able to
also.
compete with America in the Olympics if you didn't allow them to play in the women's sports. So you have to compete.
Well, I gotta say, India was very, very bad at the Olympics, but they're getting better. So.
They're going to start having trans athletes play for India. I
But
think.
the mathletes are, like they're playing people three grades above them.
Don't even compete. Don't even try.
You're telling me you don't think that Luke could beat his Indian parallel in math?
I could not. No.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Sorry, we touched fingers.
We touched hands. That's
We
gay.
touched hands.
Very good. Steve, how you been? I forget what episode, but you were one of our first. You two are both.
Yeah, like a year ago.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That was a year ago.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Haven't seen you guys since then.
Yeah. How have you been?
I mean, I saw you guys, Friday? Well, let's talk about Friday. Me and Otis were on a show.
Oh yeah,
and,
the great.
and Luke came out.
We've all done this show before.
The
La
Cava
Cava
Coffee
Coffee Show,
Company.
Westchester. We had a nice crowd in there. I harassed the family. I asked that blonde girl. That blonde girl had the cast on her foot. I said, "What were you driving high?" Because she
I really
crashed
wanted
in
to
an
go, but
accident.
I can't.
Yeah. So we all decided, like, it was like 5 or 6 guy comics. Like, after the show, like, let's go out and we'll, like, hit the town and talk to chicks and drink and stuff like that. And after the show, I had grabbed the poster and, like, put it, like, in my, under my hoodie. Because I like to collect the flyers I'm on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, like,
you know, my car, yeah.
Yeah, like an hour and a half after we're out drinking, I'm just bored as hell, and I don't really drink, so I'm just like, I'm going to go back to my car and put this poster in my car. I'll be right back, guys. And I just left, and then you guys were just like, what the fuck?
I wouldn't like that. I left with you.
Yeah, Luke left with me.
I was
told him to
outraged at both of you, and I'm glad you're here to hear me talk about it. It's that you had the intent from the minute you left. You were deceitful.
No.
You were deceitful.
No, I was going to come back.
Why? Was it because it was early morning Saturday and it was your Sabbath, so you felt it was, the right time to lie?
Yeah.
It's fish for Hummer. You can't be out past past moon down. You have to go back home.
Well, he was out with 3 moon faces, so
Yeah.
and by that I mean that you light up the sky with your smile.
So you guys didn't go and hang out at that
We did.
that bar
We
we
did.
went to last time?
We got pizza before we went
The
out.
pizza was the best part.
Yeah.
The bar was kind of dead because it's the week before Thanksgiving and all
Yeah.
the
and our phones were fucked up because like we were getting calls, but like we didn't see the calls till like after we left. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, Fenris. We were going out with
Yeah.
Fenris. He was cleaning up the show,
Yeah.
and he was calling us. I didn't notice he called. Well, really, it was Combs' fault because Combs was the one leading the way, and he was
Yeah.
saying where we were going.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of those
We had
places we went to.
bad cell reception, so
Yeah.
But-
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
Kay, Combs, Luke, Otis. I was the only white guy.
Hey,
I was
hey,
so
hey.
lonely.
Come on.
So, well, I guess. Sure.
Compared to, you think I'm the same as Tay? I'm not as black as Tay.
None of us are as black as Tay.
No. Yo, that boob is stabbed.
You guys are getting into a territory that I don't know anything about.
You're the blackest one here, Lakshmi.
I know, right?
You're the HNIC. The
Yeah, but
HNI
the
Schmi.
loneliness of being a white man hanging out with black and Hispanic comedians, It's lonely. No, that's fair. Just hanging out with black comedians. It's lonely being the only white comic, and
I've always wondered about that.
yeah.
Right? I've always wondered about like brown is like half black.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
They're all this brown.
And I've heard actually some comics talk about that, right? Like, hey, we're black too, right? Like we should be readily accepted in the black community. I've heard Indian comics talk about that. Right? So
Lakshmi, would you accept a half Indian into your friend group?
Well, I'll
Indian,
tell
like,
you
of
what.
course.
And
I'll accept anyone
I
into my
see
friend
Indians as being exactly the same as blacks, to be honest with you, and I would throw Mexicans in there with them. So
Yeah, Mexicans are like aren't they?
oh, Mexicans are black.
Oh no. That's not where I was going. India and Mexico.
No, I'm not mocking
I think
it.
India and Mexico had like some sort of connection, right? Like the
Well, they thought Mexico
continents
was
were
India.
together or whatever, right? No.
I have such a bad knowledge of history and stuff. I don't know where I
The
thought.
Mayan culture has a lot in similarity with the Indian culture,
Oh,
Oh, okay.
and a lot of India's vegetables actually came from Mexico.
That's why you can't drink the water in both states.
Both states.
Countries.
Okay,
See,
there we
I
go.
told you I
Good
don't know anything
job.
about history or geography.
Have you guys been to Mexico?
I haven't been.
Is
Have
that
you?
No,
Yeah,
no,
I
it's
have.
against my religion.
I have.
What's your
It's
religion?
against your religion.
Just anti-Mexicanism.
Okay.
Can I join your church, please?
Lakshmi,
Did you ever go to Mexico? I don't know. Did you ever go sleep outside in the sidewalk, get out of your bed, and go sleep?
Once this episode
maybe
goes
censor
on
that.
air, I'm definitely
do it.
going
Don't
to
do
be.
it.
I'm definitely going to be stopped at the airport for like special
For this? Yeah, you might not even
checking,
get on the
right?
flight.
Like for sure. Like
Steve-
I've said bad things about black people, about Mexicans. Like
No, you've been a
like, this
good
is like-
boy so far.
Steve,
Jack, clip that.
you have the
Yeah.
you have the one of the greatest. Like I heard you said this is one of the greatest things I ever heard. And you're talking about Mexican music, and he said, I don't know why Mexicans like listening to circus music. My sister's half Mexican. I've been hearing this music for my entire life. It sounds just like circus music. Why do they like it so much? Nuestros padres para esquizo. That's like 18 Mexican songs. I never heard it called circus music before, so it is circus music.
It's fine. I like circuses.
It's
and
nice.
I like Mexicans.
It's good music.
Cool. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I
It's-
like it, but it is. But that's like what the cartel listens to is that type of music. That's like
Yeah.
the hard gangster music is like it's called Mexican banda music.
Yeah.
You listen to like Circus
It's
music.
drunk music too. It's like a real like sloppy drunk type of music. You know?
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Mexican banda music.
That's what the cartel is. That's what the name of it.
I could think of like 6 open micers that make Mexican bomba music when they go up there. Their art. That's what their art is. And I didn't name anyone by name, so you don't have to go and delete it.
I was getting ready for it.
Yeah, there's a Patreon, guys, that they put on episodes.
Yeah, you hear
for this.
yeah.
So a running joke between us in the production room, aka Luke's closet, is he's been in there a long time, but is that I'll just randomly just throw out a comic's name and I'll just be like, so and so's a pussy, and it'll be like, now I have to go edit this. But we put the uncensored ones up there on the
Patreon.
Like for example, Luke, who's a comic you don't like?
Let's not even do it. Make it a lot easier for me not to censor it.
Lakshmi, who's a comic you don't like?
The comic,
Paul Carson. I hate Paul
Always,
Carson,
always.
Steve. Just for you.
Thank you.
What's your beef with Paul Carson?
I mean, am I in character right now, or am I being myself?
It's a character.
Okay, he's.
Wait, ask again. We got to clip it for real.
What's your problem with Paul Carson, Steve?
Say it again. Say it
If
again.
you ever
What
came
is your
to High
problem
Note,
with Paul Carson?
well, the situation with Paul Carson started like 2 years ago when I first started doing open mics, and I was a kid back then. You know, I was, just doe-eyed, innocent kid, didn't know what was going on. He was like this big man on campus, been doing comedy for
How long were you
years,
doing comedy for at this point?
What's up?
How long were you doing comedy for?
A couple months, whatever, maybe 6 months or something like that. So I was just on the bottom of the totem pole, and I just looked up to Paul Carson as like this massive open micer, and he said hi to me one day. You know how I am when people say hi. I like when people say hi, hello, Steve, when they're friendly. And, I just became friends with him, started messaging him on Instagram and Facebook, every day. And even if I stay up late, so I'd message like 3 a.m. I know he wouldn't be getting back to me at 3 a.m., but I would send messages at 3, 4 a.m. and he started getting pissed off and saying that I was bugging him and stalking him and stuff like that. He blocked me. I showed up to his house to try to apologize. He's like, "How'd you get my address?" They tried to ban me from High Note. He eventually he got a restraining order against me after we did a show together at a music festival thing. And then he got rid of the restraining order, and it's just it's a whole thing.
Paul is a sick man.
What a fucking piece of shit he is.
Yeah,
Paul is just a sick, sick man.
That's
that little Irish bastard.
Yeah.
He got the restraining order so it would make me look crazy,
I understand.
I was a psycho.
I mean, he's a silly boy.
We
understand silly boy Paul. Yeah, silly boy Paul. I mean, how a comic's mind works, it's just so different the way a regular person's mind will work. And the fact that he's doing that to you just maybe his comedic genius turns into evil genius. I think.
I don't think it's genius at all. I think it's just mean-spirited.
It is, but
and he provokes you by doing that stuff where he gets down on the ground and starts humping at the comic, like when he puts his legs behind his ears. It's incredibly impressive how flexible he is, and I wish I could be that nimble. But when he does that, that's practically just a bullseye. Lakshmi, wouldn't you agree? That it's just come right in.
You've had beef with Paul Carson before, right?
No.
Why
would I have?
Well, he's talked shit on you before. I know that. A lot. I never told you that?
I had a beef with him before.
Yeah.
I was at a show. It was just a comedy show, and I tried to tag him on an Instagram story.
Yeah.
You know what his Instagram story name is?
What's
his
Instagram
name is OG Nigga Black Official. And I was like, that's just really. Yeah, you can't have a name like that on Instagram, Paul. That's horrible.
And that's inappropriate.
That's that's against racial harmony. That's pretty bad. Do you have any beef with Paul Carson, Otis?
He's made some physical threats against my family that I don't want to badmouth him at.
Golly gee, Paul. What the hell?
Future guest on the show, Paul Carson. I'll get that lined up.
All right, that'll be good. That'll be good.
He'll come in here and that'll be he'll have Alan a knife to his throat, just sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
I just did a podcast with him last week. The
Ed McGonigal
podcast.
Really funny on that.
He was that's fun. That's fun. I like those guys. They're fun.
The Costco guys.
Yeah.
We saw Ed McGonigal one time at a mic at a kebab. We did a mic at a kebab shop. Lamar Todd told me at Bar 13 the week before, he goes, "You're gonna love it. It's a great mic. You're gonna love it." I get there. There's 5 people there.
Is that the one where you called the guy? There was a
guy.
Luke had just had surgery on his legs, and there was a guy in a wheelchair, and he said, "You and I are kind of like the same." And the guy in the wheelchair was so offended. He's like, I'm not black. No.
I said that while he was sitting in a wheelchair, and I was standing on stage talking to him and said, we're like the same.
Well, he's probably walking now, don't you think?
I don't think so.
No. I would say he's probably not.
Maybe the boosters helped him.
He's probably killed himself by now, the way you made him feel. But
I wouldn't blame him.
Lakshmi, we don't actually hate Paul. We were all joking.
I know.
He doesn't know.
You look nervous. I didn't want you to be upset. Oh, my God. No, Steve actually does, but I am.
None of us run any open mics or shows really. Like we're awesome for that.
High Minded, he runs High Minded.
Yeah, I do the
Kwanzaa
13
mic.
stuff, the Kwanzaa, the
yeah.
I'm the Shane McMahon of Bar 13, brother.
I never wanted to run a mic or a show. It just seems horrible.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
I'm just too lazy.
Yes.
so am I.
I'm too lazy.
Yeah.
I'll tell a story. No, I'm not telling the story.
Okay.
I'm not telling the story. All right, I'm going to tell the story.
All right, let me just cue it up. Go ahead.
All right. So I wanted to get I was asking Luke before we started the show. No, that's not the one.
I was going to hang myself with the mic once you brought it up again.
But yeah, running stuff is difficult because, especially with the mics, if 25 people text you to get on the list, then somebody's 25th.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody's 25th. But but speaking of that, this year's Kwanzaa, Shmi, it's killing me you won't be there, but that's all right. You're seeing family. It's Steve Kain. You're coming. You and Joe?
Yeah.
White dudes for Kwanzaa.
Yes. Aren't we supposed to play characters, right? White dudes for Kwanzaa. Yeah.
How was the one what was the one last year?
Well, Steve, how about we just take the rabbit out of the hat and we just say, look, it's just going in a secret compartment here. Okay? How about we just say, you know what? I can just fit all these fucking handkerchiefs in my throat because I suck a lot of dick because I'm a fucking magician. We're just
Is
gonna
that the worst one to being a magician between like clown and mime? Magician. Actually, magician's probably the coolest one out of those.
I like clown.
Clown?
Because they like John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, John.
I fuck with him.
I think it depends. If it's a magician that does real magic, you're cool as fuck. If they do tricks, they fucking suck.
Right. Well, I would say a real magician does magic while tricks are done by Jews.
But I don't know. I think mime the least cool out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, mime's. I don't know why anybody wants to be a mime.
No.
Blackface, or black and white though.
Blackface is cooler than
you should
being
be
a mime.
You should, Luke. I've been telling you, you need to go to a mic in blackface, like shoe polish black.
There's a guy that does stand up in LA with he's like an albino.
Dan DePrio.
I said you should paint your lips like really bright red and put on shoe polish and go as blackface. But he's black, but he's albino.
Oh, that's brilliant.
That would be pretty good.
Mike Stanley should do that. But I'm trans, and yeah. But running a show is really hard.
Yeah.
It's well, you were hosting at the Cisco for a long time.
Yeah, but that's what really pissed me off. People would I never met before, would send me a DM and say, "Hey, can you sign me up for this?" And it's like I'm not even going to be there on time.
Gillespie would send you that, and he wouldn't even be at the mic.
Happened a couple of times, yeah.
If I ran a show, I wouldn't even stay for the whole thing. Like I'd be like 15 comics in, I would just leave, and then whatever happens after that.
Yeah, because you're not there. That's not going to affect anything.
Well, I like going up at the end because there are no stakes.
Yeah, I get that.
Like
There's
going
no pressure.
up between the 25th and 26th comics, like the time where like Yoder would be going into his fucking tight five.
Yeah,
I would be. We love Jay.
We love
him.
Jay.
He's notorious. He's notorious for that because he'll do 45 minutes over the course of a Mikey host, 6 minutes between each comic.
We did a show at Tuned Up one time.
God bless him.
Jay hosted the show, and there's a mic afterwards.
Yeah.
Jay opened the show, did about like 15 minutes. And then closed the show, did probably another 15 minutes. And he opened the open mic, did like 10 minutes. Did a set during the signed up for the open mic. Did a set like a 5-minute set during the open mic.
Signed up for his open mic.
And then closed out the show with a set. He did I saw 6 sets of Jay Yoder in one night.
Ooh, boy.
Some people got to say they saw we saw Van Halen. They were doing bars 3 sets a night, 6 nights a week. I'd see them all the time. Who would you see 6 times in a night?
I'm convinced that that Bird Teachers tour that he does.
It's hot for teachers, guys.
Yeah, it's like you see him at whatever these big theaters sold out. I think that's all faked. I think
it's all a psyop.
Bullshit. That's a psyop. I don't believe that's even the real thing.
It's all like AI generated stuff.
Yes, that's what I think. I don't know anyone who's gone to these shows. There's no named people on these shows. I don't believe they're selling out the
It's
Keswick
just a big
Theater.
market for teachers doing comedy.
But he's a good
Because
he's a good
if
comic,
they had
right?
a thing with
He
like
is.
servers,
I love Yoder. We always talk about Jay Yoder on the show. We love Yoder. Yoder's a great guy.
I
like all
I like
Yoder.
Yoder. He's awesome.
Yeah, we love Yoder.
Yeah. But I like making fun of people.
I love his father-in-law even more. That guy is a legend. I respect that guy to hell. He likes Alice Cooper. Oh my God, we talk about him.
Have you thought about doing any mics when you go to India?
I have, but it's hard because
The list would be too long.
the names on the list will be too long.
I wonder if there's like hack Indian comics. It is so hot in here. Oh my God! Like, is it like that?
They could do a fishbowl mic with dots.
It's very much like here.
Scratch them off.
It's what?
It's very much like here, right? Like
Yeah.
the
Yo,
thing-
dude, I just took a shit. It smelled very bad. Dude, my balls are like so smelly. Like, I get I like to fuck, dude. I really like to
Thank
fuck.
God we're not going to hear that in the Oval Office.
Apologies.
No.
No, I can do it because I have to still work from India.
Oh, okay. And the time zone difference.
Yeah,
oh,
I'll be
my
working in
God.
the evenings.
What a
So,
great son you were.
I
I'd
can
say.
go out to do open mics and stuff. So.
Yeah.
Well, you would kill there.
And also, I'll just want to spend time with my parents. And
Yeah.
And I'll tell you
I
what.
go there, I spend time with my parents, then I come back and get back to it. That's
Yeah.
it.
Lakshmi Narayan Balasubramaniam Jr., you're like one of 80 in India. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to find someone like you.
I'm one of like a million.
You're like 1 in a million here, but like you're like 1 of 80 in India.
Yeah, exactly. One in 10. One in like everybody has a long. People have longer names than I have.
Yeah.
So
Do you have certain stuff that you do in India, like certain hobbies and stuff you do in India that you don't do in America? I feel like these are really bad first grader questions to somebody, but I figured I'd ask.
So ask again. Sorry.
Do you have any hobbies, stuff that you do in India that you don't do in America?
No, not really.
I have a question. What's the longest Indian name person you know?
That's a better question.
That has a longer name than you, and do you have it memorized?
Though, yeah. There are a lot of like. I have a friend. His name is Jammi Venkata Badri Lakshmi Narsimhan. That's just like.
Can you say that again?
Jammi Venkata Badri Lakshmi Narsimhan. That's not even like the longest. Like,
Shout out.
Johnny went to the bathroom.
Shout out
Lakshmi nah.
Shout out to
Javi,
Okay.
yeah.
Schmitty Werben Jagerman Jensen. Who's his hat? Mr. Krabs. Who was
very
number
good friend
one.
of mine. Very respected doctor. So
and who am I to be? Like, I'm just sitting here. Oh my God! But
cool.
no. Yeah, Indian names are like so. Yeah, I know a guy who's like people. There are people who have like 4 or 5 initials.
Okay, so what's the shortest Indian name person you know?
are there any Gus's?
I think my son, right, Tejas, like 5 letters.
Tejas?
That's
a very nice name.
I like
Yeah,
that name.
that is nice.
That's a strong, like a gold name. That's a good name.
If there was one Indian NFL player, there'd be so many. Like Tejas Williams. Tejas? I don't want to mispronounce
No,
it.
you said it exactly right.
Tejas.
Tejas, yeah.
Tejas Williams at tailback.
Yeah, that's a great like an Indian.
8 yards. So
player.
it's that's a second and 2.
Indian football player, yeah. Why not?
The Bengals.
Why not?
For the Bengals.
We have long names, but we don't have the kind of physical fitness or physical stature even to play football.
I know, but cricket is the most popular sport, it seems like, in the world. Like, I mean, it's soccer, but like I think the most followed. I think I told you this last time you were on the podcast. The most followed person on Instagram was a cricket player.
Yeah.
He had like 8 billion followers or something.
Yeah,
like that. It was
that's
nuts.
natural, right? Like India has 1.5 billion people and like so many people. I mean, cricket is our national game. It's not our national game, but still, it's the most.
I've seen a lot when I watch like wrestling clips. There's a lot of Indian people that are commenting on the wrestling videos on YouTube. Is that like a big thing in India?
Oh,
wrestling?
it was
it
was a huge thing. I mean, I'm sure it is still. So 1992, that's when cable TV came to India, right? Like
92.
1992. Till then we had just like we had 2 channels.
Yeah.
They were both like we have a government run television provider, right? Like we had 2 channels, right? Like one national channel and one regional channel. In 1992, when cable TV came to India, we got 5 channels, right? And one of them was Star Sports and wrestling. Okay. WWF. It was called WWF at that time, World Wrestling Federation, right? That was one of the. So at that time, I've watched Randy Savage, The Undertaker, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, right?
Yeah.
Like, or what he was called The Rock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys, Hulk Hogan. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's
yeah,
cool.
I mean, and it was big, right? Like, so when I came here in 2007, I had a team here in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, from India. They all went once to Philadelphia to watch a wrestling event.
Oh yeah, wow, that's cool.
My teammates were like crazy about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, it's wrestling has a huge following in India.
Do you know who Jinder Mahal is? See, that's there was a wrestler named Jinder Mahal. He was horrible. They gave him the world. He was an Indian wrestler. They gave him the world title, thinking that would be a big thing for India. Nobody even knows who he is
because he was Canadian.
He was Canadian. Yeah.
He wasn't even really Indian. He was like an Indian guy from Canada. It shows you the racist WWE. And a few before that, right after 9/11, they had an Arab guy who would come out and like his thing was he was a terrorist. He was Italian.
Yeah.
But they just dressed him up like and then that's how Otis Tillman was born.
Were you a wrestler? Were you ever a wrestling guy, Steve?
I just want to say I'm really happy that everybody in India got to see Big Boss Man feed Al Snow his dog.
That's
great.
That
story
spawned
line.
a lot of cookbooks, Steve.
So that answers your question.
Yeah.
I don't watch it now, but like, when I was like, younger.
Oh yeah, I was at Bar 13. They had Big Boss Man dragging the Big Show on his father's coffin on the TV recently.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That
was amazing.
Well, no, the feeding the dog is another thing too. I thought you were bringing it up because it's a delicacy in Asia.
Yeah, dogs. That was by.
And I'm serious in
racism.
Asia, I can say that. Listen, you can't tell me I'm a man without a continent.
True.
People have 9 genders. I get to have a continent. Because if Syria's not in Asia, what continent is it in? Europe? Don't say Africa, goddammit.
Isn't Syria's in Asia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm I'm just as much an Asian as a partial Chinaman.
Yeah. I would agree.
Yeah,
I would agree.
Hey, now that's not nice.
All
right.
I want to see your 23andMe.
Oh God. I don't.
Mine.
I'd probably hang myself. Yeah, Luke's a Ugandan.
No, I'm not.
He's a Liberian.
Nope.
Oh.
He's a Trinidadian.
No. Northern.
Sicily.
Sicily's one of them.
Egypt? Oh.
Not Egypt. I fucking lost it. Hold a second.
Morocco?
I don't even know what that is.
Morocco?
Really?
You don't know Morocco?
Morocco? Oh, you said
Morocco.
Morocco? No, I'm a Nigerian.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if that spit out one letter at a time? If I was watching the reveal with you and it said, how Nigerian are you?
I'm 20. I think I'm like 20s or 30% Nigerian.
Is that the most?
No, I'm more so Italian. Like, I'm like, it's like 30% Nigerian, 25% Northern Italian, 25% Sicilian.
All right, so if it came out, the first thing would say 30. If you were watching it, a big reveal, it was like watching the Powerball come out, and it said 30% N.
Like, oh,
then I'd be me there. I'd be like Luke.
Show me an O. I.
Look, G. and then when it said the E and not the second G, I would have said, God damn it.
Oh, God. Have you guys done 23andMe?
Me?
I think you're like Norwegian or something.
Lakshmi O'Connor over here.
Yeah, it'll say you're 150% Indian.
No, I just do what other white people do and just say I'm partly Native American.
What tribe?
I don't know because I'm lying. I make it up. I'm not.
I think you'd have been what, the Iroquois?
I'm not. You
Iroquois?
probably.
Blackfeet?
I don't know.
Luke, take off yourself.
I just don't want to just be all white, so I say I'm partly Native American. Just
You're like Elizabeth Warren. You're like Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, like that. Exactly like that. A lot of us do that. A lot of us do that. But I have no idea. I'm not going to get a 23andMe done because I don't want them to like have to make clones of me that they fucking shit like.
Well, if I did it, I mean, they're not going to make clones. I'm a defective base model. They're not going to make clones of me.
But they will just they'll harvest your body parts and stuff like that.
Okay, well, that's not bad.
Just don't give them your DNA. Let them like earn it. Let them go and pull out the sticky tissue from your trash can. Don't just give it to them.
Yeah, I agree. I know.
Yeah.
I was forced into it, though, by the Fauci. He made me do it.
You got that vaccine?
The vaccine, yeah, unfortunately.
That's because I hadn't met you before that happened.
You needed to get 23andMe to get a vaccine?
No, I was joking. But I lied and said Fauci made me get the 23. But I did get the vaccine. I wish I didn't get it, but...
You're all going to die before me, I know that.
That's but I was going to die before you.
I didn't get the COVID vaccine. And
you didn't?
No. And you're going to die now, and I'm not.
You're lucky. I wish I didn't get the vaccine.
Yeah, no.
I was living in the city, and it was just for convenience. I wouldn't care if it killed me or if it made me live as long. Well,
I don't think it's going to... I haven't felt any adverse effects from it.
Steve, honest to God, I was hoping I would die from it. I was thinking this. I tried to get the J&J, but once it became mandated that you needed it to, because that communist city, Philadelphia, they say you need to show your card to go into a restaurant or something. I went and got it, and I tried to sign up for the J&J, but that was all sold out because you only had to get that once instead of having to go twice. And I don't want to say what community probably valued convenience, but I'm a part of that community.
I didn't want to get the J&J because I thought that was probably the worst vaccine.
I wanted to get it, one, because it was one trip to CVS, and two, so I would fall over dead.
Yeah, it seemed like I got the Pfizer.
That's what I got too.
Yeah.
That's the worst one?
No, J&J was the worst one apparently.
Nah, it's the Pfizer. That's the worst one.
You think it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get Moderna like a basic.
Mark Martin, when he was a NASCAR driver, you know him? Mark the Kid Martin. He he used to drive when I was a kid. His sponsors were Pfizer and Viagra. It's like, wow, holy hell.
Does he still race?
No, he's like 60.
If you think he'd get rid of one, which one do you think he'd get rid of if he still race nowadays?
Oh, he'd get rid of the Pfizer. He's like
exactly.
He's friends with like Gucci Mane. He's like 65 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never got in. I want to get into it.
He's
NASCAR.
5'2" and white as well. NASCAR's awesome. The season just ended, but it starts again in 2 months.
Okay.
February it begins again.
I gotta check it out. You guys NASCAR fans?
Fuck no. No.
I like racing, but I don't watch it a lot.
I haven't watched it. Once everyone from my youth is retired, it's different than like team sports because you're just rooting for a person. Like a lot of times, like some people will just continue to root for the number, but like you know what I mean? It could. Yeah. Sometimes the number doesn't even exist anymore.
No one's watching NASCAR. Like, there's nothing to like. You have it on, you drink, you talk. Like, no one's watching NASCAR. Like, just commenting on all the things.
It's the best thing ever for a in and out nap.
But a lot of people. I mean,
I've been to
NASCAR
dozens of
like
NASCAR races,
right?
And that's the best part of it.
Where do you go?
Yeah.
I've been to Pocono.
Okay.
Twice. They'd have 2 races there every summer. I'd go.
I like to see the crashes. Sometimes.
Oh yeah, I've seen a few right in front of me.
Some of them I think
Some people were hurt. The one guy got a concussion. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, Elliott Sadler, you pig.
How many NASCAR venues are there?
Like there are 36 races a year. So roughly.
Wow.
So there are like 30 active ones because a lot of tracks will have 2.
Probably
a little less than
whoever
that.
makes those cars, like the safety.
Wow, I didn't know there were so many actually.
Because you'll see a car do like 8 revolutions and fall on the top of the car. It's like fall on the top of the hood and just like scrape against it and catch it on fire. And the guy's fine. It's nuts.
That's because they have
flame-proof suits, right?
the flame-proof stuff, and they have their necks are secured.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Because of Dale Earnhardt, Mike Steven, I used to watch that video of him where there's.
The
important thing is that they get out of the car.
Yeah. This one didn't. This one he's talking about didn't happen.
Yeah, this guy died. A friend of mine and I would watch it. But the most popular NASCAR driver, he died. Dale Earnhardt. He died.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at the most popular race of the year, while his son and his one teammate were running number 1, 2, and 3, and it was like a proud father moment. His son is there, and his young. And wait, the best part is that Michael Waltrip, who won, his brother Darrell Waltrip, was calling the race on TV.
When was this?
2001.
Oh, okay.
Probably the most tragic thing that happened in 2001, and I mean that genuinely. He
at least on accident.
But I think the biggest.
I wouldn't be surprised if the news companies knew about this too. No, but the guy's brother had the best career thing of his life, right as his best friend was crashing and dying. So he goes, "Come on, Michael, come on, Mike!" As he's passing the finish line, he goes, "Mikey, yeah, Mikey." Man, I hope Dale's okay. And then he wasn't okay. He was dead. He was dead. You know what happened? He hit his face off the steering wheel, and his skull went into his brain. That's what happened.
Was it? It didn't look that bad of a crash too. It was
I
crazy.
know it's because he hit straight on, and because his head wasn't attached, so his head went forward, and he was like an old head where he was like he would refuse, he wouldn't want to have safety.
Were they implementing safety features while that race was going on, or
what?
Did they try and get him to do like a safety feature with like the attachment?
No, like all the technological advancements he was resistant to because he was like an old school.
Yeah, they don't even have.
Do it, though.
Yeah, they don't even have hooks for like
car
now
seats
it was mandatory
for big kids
after
in there. He died. It was just optional, and he was such a big star, no one was going to force him, and he was like 50. So if he just retired, it would have been bad for the sport.
Yeah.
So instead he died, which is probably the best thing for the sport because it made a martyr out of him. I'll bet he said the N-word. At least I hope.
Oh, he's a NASCAR driver. Old school NASCAR driver.
You didn't tell me Dale Earnhardt didn't drop one. I hope he did. If I'd lose respect for him if he didn't. I say that as a black. But yeah, he died. The one guy, Ken Schrader, in this interview, he drove the 36 M&M's car in that race. He said he looked into Dale Earnhardt's window. He said, I looked in to see if he was all right, and I saw him, and I knew it was bad. But it's like, if the guy's skull went into his brain and you said, I knew it was bad, he probably saw this guy like crunched in like a fucking cup. He's like, oh shit, this is bad.
Lakshmi, how does his enjoyment of death make you feel?
Imagine his little mustache hairs, his whiskers were like
someone else's death.
And his face was just mush in, and he was dead.
So, what's your reaction to that? Well, Otis's love of death.
Otis is just like nothing Otis does will surprise me anymore.
And that's why we're best friends, man.
Yeah,
that's why I love you.
Exactly.
He tolerates me.
Yeah. He's going for the first.
Nothing. Nothing.
You know, I just am not able to be offended by anything at all.
That's
just
the best part of the Ghouls.
Unfazed as fuck. So
this is a was that bad of a thing to say?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It wasn't what you said. It's just the pure enjoyment for 5 minutes. You
think about it.
What
What if Ken Schrader liked it? What if he saw the guy's face like that? And he's like, I've been trying to beat this fucker for 2 decades. Fuck you, Dale. What
Did he hate him? Did he not like him?
No, but like they were like it would be like a comic. Like if you saw a comic, like just say a random comic was in an accident and you looked in and saw him, like the odds that you would like him or not like him in secret, you wouldn't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
So like if it was there, I could think of like probably 100 to 200 comics that if I saw them dying out, their brain bleeding out of their skull in a car accident, looked like soup, tomato soup.
Speaking of dead comics, R.I.P. to Linda from Roger and Linda.
Linda Berry, yeah.
Take a moment of silence, baby. No, we're on podcast.
No, wait, say it like a duck.
Like a duck?
You never heard them do that bit?
No.
Oh, that's their most popular.
I've never seen them actually.
Have you ever seen Roger and Linda, Lakshmi?
I've never seen them. I only heard of them.
Lighty. I could recite his bit right now.
I've never seen them. I've only heard of them.
They were homeless.
But then Roger connected with me on Facebook. I don't know how he knows me. I've never seen them.
They're a homeless couple. They were a homeless couple, and like they lived in their car.
Well, I'm sure he has her corpse in the back of the car.
I've heard a lot about them at High Note.
Pushing her around.
Right?
Could you imagine them in a fucking shopping cart?
I think so, yeah.
He's got Linda's fucking rotting corpse. Maybe put that one behind a paywall.
They were a Philadelphia staple of the comedy scene. You know,
yeah, the first time I saw them, he praised Trump and Frankie Bradley's in the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah?
During his first term. And then he came up to me and said, I don't like the Flyers because they fucking got rid of Kate Smith's recording of the national anthem because an old song she recorded called Pickin' Any Heaven came out. That one and another one called That's Why the Darkies Were Born. And Roger said, yeah, I can't understand why the team would want to distance itself.
Yeah, well, I saw them all the time when it first started. They kind of stopped going on as the years went on.
I wonder why.
Age.
Yeah.
Writer's block, probably.
Both of them younger than Joe Biden. Both of them younger than Trump. Both of them younger than the Clintons.
Well, I think it's very possible. You know how like when two people are really in love and one of them dies, the other one dies like a month later?
Yeah.
So, it's probably going to happen.
That's very positive outlook on that.
I
hope not. Roger's got to run for Congress now that he doesn't have a woman holding him back.
Yeah, maybe.
This is the part that's going to be on the Patreon.
I don't think we had to censor any of that stuff.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Really?
The part about her pushing the corpse around.
I mean, it just became public today, like 2 hours ago.
Yeah, and who was that fucking Jew that wrote that?
Who?
What came public 2 hours ago?
That Linda from Roger and Linda passed away. I don't know how.
Vaccine, probably. They both got
Probably the vaccine.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got Pfizer. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think the next person to die is in the comedy scene?
who do I think?
Yeah.
Do you guys have a death pool? Because I had one. I feel like I had one a year ago or so. We should do like a local comedy death pool. I'm sure somebody
Chris
already has
Dolan.
one.
no, good. I love Chris. It's
No.
not who I want. It's just who I think.
Who?
I jokingly said Chris Dolan, although he probably, if I said that to him, he'd go,
Well, he definitely got the vaccine and all the boosters. So
yeah, he posts pictures of it.
yeah.
But I'm not saying it because of that. I'm just saying it would be like Chris takes pretty good care of himself. He plays pickleball. He goes to open mics, so his mental health is intact. And it'd be just the type of thing for him to die and for like.
Oh,
Some
realistically, Tony Palante.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure.
Joe G from AIDS.
Yes. I don't know who else is.
Speedy.
Oh, Speedy's not. He could be dead right now. I haven't
Don't
seen him.
gatekeep. Speedy's a real comic, brother.
I haven't
Peggy
seen-
O'Leary's a real
I
comic.
haven't seen
Speedy's
him-
a real
I haven't
comic.
seen him in like a couple months.
Who's the comic that had cancer?
Christian
He'll
Schoenig. I always
probably-
tell him that I hope he doesn't have. I'm glad that the sea left him alone.
For now.
Yeah, that's right. It's probably coming back.
Yeah.
Christian, if you ever get cancer, tell the cancer it's invited to come on the show. If your cancer ever comes back. What if you got a different type? Wouldn't that be a mind fuck? Could you imagine
think they have
beating ball cancer or whatever the fuck? Yeah, I don't know if it's ball. I hope it was. No, I like her.
Can you imagine
I like him a
being
lot.
trans and getting ball cancer and getting breast cancer? You know,
Double whammy.
double whammy. Yeah.
Do you think there's a cure for cancer that's already been made, but they just don't want to
Yes.
release it?
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
All jokes aside, yes.
Do you think there's a cure for cancer and they won't release it because the medical industry would lose too much money?
It's possible.
If they did it, there would have to be a new thing. There would have to be a new. But cancer is
Maybe
become
that-
such a powerful word.
Maybe that's what that's what COVID was.
Yeah, I mean, it could have.
Yeah.
The thought of it being like, because people were really scared of tuberculosis.
Yeah, I was scared for COVID for like about 1 or 2 days.
I was never scared.
And then Rudy Gobert had it the one day, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm sick." And it's like, "Oh, well, that's COVID. That's what we're fucking stopping the world for? Is
yeah.
a
Well,
flu?"
they thought they marketed it as the coronavirus at first.
Yeah,
And it's like you can't expect people to not laugh at that.
yeah.
What if I bet you Corona paid or whatever? I forget what their parent company is. It Anheuser-Busch or is that something
I
else?
think it is Anheuser-Busch.
And I'm so push.
That's one of the conglomerates that owns these. I don't even know.
How was COVID in India? Did you guys get COVID out there?
Oh yeah.
You did?
I heard it was a good country for it. Like they were good with it.
Sorry.
Well, it's so sanitary.
Well, what's that mean? Why is he laughing?
It was really tough.
I heard it was. I thought it was one of the better countries because of the heat. Like it was so hot, you would just like sweat it out.
So yeah.
I think Trump said that.
He said what?
I think Trump was the one who said that. Like, by the time the summer comes, have you seen this, Steve?
No.
There's a thing from like 2020 where he's like,
That was a
the
thing in
heat with
India
the
too.
air. In the air will be dry.
That was a thing in India too. That there was a view that corona won't spread because of the heat, but
How much was shut down?
Still did.
entire nation was shut down.
Wow, you wouldn't think they'd put up with that.
The entire nation.
I mean, that
shut
was the
down.
way to go. Sweden didn't shut down. They were fine with transmission and stuff.
Sweden didn't shut down at all?
Sweden or Switzerland, I forget which one.
Maybe should move there then.
Maybe.
No, because that type of freedom would be. Don't censor that.
Yeah, well.
He doesn't listen to us,
Yeah, he
and he
does.
can take a joke.
No, you can't.
When have you ever known? Yeah,
I'm just happy you guys got cable before the lockdowns happened. You imagine
That
watching
would've been so
two
boring.
channels for a whole year, just stuck at home?
Yeah.
I didn't watch enough TV when the lockdowns were going on.
I only watched Aladdin.
Really? I watched
Talking about
Breaking
India.
Bad, and that was it.
I didn't watch. I gave up on Breaking Bad. I didn't like it.
It was pretty good.
I know everyone. People watch it. People are gonna rage quit this zone when they see that. Dude, when I say it. Did you ever watch Breaking Bad, Lakshmi? It's too depressing. I feel like you would appreciate this. It's too depressing. I watch it. It's hard. Like, first of all, the guy gets cancer.
It's
He's a
too
school teacher.
depressing.
Oh, you can laugh at NASCAR driver, but when the drug addict has a bad day on TV, you get upset by it, huh?
Well, listen. I shouldn't laugh at Dale because he is racist. I just like that the death happened in public. I like when people die in front of a lot of people and then they're scarred for life. There might be somebody who still has nightmares about that.
Has anyone here seen anybody die in real life?
Yeah.
Yeah? You probably have you talked about that on the podcast already?
I saw a guy get shot in the fucking head in Center City.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Mine's not that good. I saw a guy.
That good. You're sick. You're a sick man.
I saw a guy at the gym. I was like, I finished my workout. It was like a portly, like older guy, and I was like, I was gonna go. I don't know why. Some made me want to stay there for a little bit longer, but even though I was finished my workout, I see I see this guy laying on the ground. He's like real red. I go, yeah, he's working out pretty hard. He's taking a break.
Yeah.
And then he starts turning purple. It's like
Purple?
purple.
Like Barney.
Yeah, like Barney. He's like bright purple. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, is that guy okay? And the guy's like, oh, I don't know what he's doing. And he goes up to one of the trainers. Is that guy okay? He goes, oh shit, call 911. And so like the guys weren't. It was during 2020 when they made you wear masks in gym, which is fucking retarded. And he's like laying on the ground, and the guy's trying to doing CPR on him, and his stomach's like jiggling. It was insane.
Don't body shame.
Did he take the mask down before he did CPR?
I honestly think they did not take the mask down. But dude, I'm walking. I'm like, listen, I'm not gonna get involved.
Wait a minute. What if the person performing the CPR had COVID and gave it to him as he was trying to save him, and then the guy died of COVID?
The reason why people have premonitions like you had is to be in the right place to save somebody. Like God told you to stay so you could take the mask off that guy to save his life.
That. Now I'm gonna think about that the rest of my fucking life now, Steve. That is probably it. And then I go outside. I hold the door for the EMTs that are coming. The guy gets out. The guy that gets out of the ambulance looks in worse shape than the guy who's dying on the floor. And there's like 5 guys out there, and the guy comes out. He goes, "Hey guys, how's it going?" And this guy goes, "He's fucking dying in there." He goes, "All right, we'll get to it." And they
the EMT was Alan?
It was like that. And the EMTs don't even walk fast. They walk really slow, pushing a cart. And I go, they get there, I go, okay, they're fine. They're fine. I got to them. I look back, they're using the shock paddles, and I left. I left.
How'd you know he died?
He probably did. There's no way that guy didn't survive with those people trying to help him.
He might be alive.
He's not alive. No way.
What was his name?
He never saw him at the gym again.
Never did. Never saw him at the gym.
Maybe he gave up on it after that.
I would too. I mean, it's a good excuse.
I mean, what if he was a vegetable? That's very possible. If his brain lost blood because you were waiting.
Yeah.
Like, because if the brain doesn't get any oxygen and there's no blood flow going up there, like, if it's out for enough time, you become brain dead. So he was probably alive for quite a while after it.
Only
because
Otis
you didn't
can
help.
think of all these possibilities.
What's that?
Only Otis can think of all
No,
these
that's just
possibilities.
science, brother.
Trust it.
Yeah, I trust the science. Listen, as the great Robert F. Kennedy Jr. once said, listen, I was at the bottom of my class. I started using heroin. I was at the top of my class. Finally, I could sit still. I could study.
He said that?
Yeah, I said it to you on Instagram.
That's one of the worst. I would never do that.
You don't think that's funny?
That's funny. I would never do heroin. That's horrible.
No, I wouldn't do heroin either. You're a normal person.
What's the hardest drug you've taken, Steve?
You can't ask somebody that.
I just did.
But that's very taboo.
How is that taboo?
It's very taboo.
Is that taboo?
Yeah.
It's taboo.
I'll
It's
take it
inappropriate.
Don't answer.
Because then you sound like a narc. Anybody who would, like...
Oh, yeah, I'm working for the FDA. I'm working for the fucking
Hey,
FBI.
listen, the feds could be watching this.
The hardest drug I've taken is acetaminophen.
What's that?
I leave tablets.
What if he said crack? He said, I used to smoke crack.
I used to smoke crack.
Tylenol
Of course I
extra
used to
strength.
smoke crack.
Look, and it broke.
In
your
India,
mother.
we have a biscuit called Crack Jack. It's actually, we have a cracker called Crack Jack.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But
What did you said Tylenol extra strength?
Yeah, so usually I take Tylenol strength, but extra strength is like
The
hardest
hardest one I taken was OxyContin. I hated the way I felt on it.
Is that just for medical reasons? You were okay. That doesn't count.
No,
That has to be
it's-
recreationally. Yeah.
I don't like taking drugs recreationally, though.
Me neither.
Straight as Sally.
All right, Luke. Well, listen. I wish that you had been in those neighborhoods that we funneled crack into and you got addicted to it back in the day.
I don't think.
And I hope Carson Wentz's kids get addicted to heroin.
That's rude.
Is there a bad opiate problem in India, like there is in
Give to see a bunch of drugged out Indians. This is my impression of one.
Everywhere. It's everywhere.
Oh yeah, it's everywhere. It's there.
This is my impression of one. Getting a scratch off. Thank you. Come again. Then going up to his wife.
Very close to miming.
Yeah, hold on. I'm getting a beer.
So is your flight? You said it's going to be on total 24 hours.
Roughly.
That's going to be. How do you get now? What kind of seat do you get? Do you get like a middle, end, middle? What do you get? What kind of seat?
I tried to get an aisle, but it's up to the airline, right? So, also it's not 24 hours like that, right? Like it's about 9 hours from here to Frankfurt, and then another 8 or so from there to Chennai. So
okay.
It's
What's the weather like right now? Is it gonna be hot?
Sorry?
Is it gonna be hot?
Where?
In India.
Right now it'll be nice actually.
Okay.
Right now, December and January is quite nice.
So what's the time zone difference between here and India?
It's 10.5 hours right now
Oh my gosh.
from US East.
So it's 6 o'clock right now.
It's 6:45 roughly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When you go back home, do you make up things about America? Like exaggerate?
No.
Do you bring home
You should.
knickknacks?
Huh?
Do you bring home knickknacks like toys or like I don't know what they're called?
Well,
Tchotchkes?
I used to, not anymore.
No.
Like now, I'm just going to visit my parents. Like,
Yeah.
So
What
whatever
knick-knacks
my
do they
mom
want,
needs.
though? Like,
Do they want anything from? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, what gets them excited? What
Oh.
American knick-knack would they get excited about?
Everything from America, right? Like, I just go to Walmart and pick up like bunch of stuff.
Like sparklers and
Like,
snakes and fireworks?
We have India has better fireworks than the
Okay,
US.
yeah.
has.
You think you have better fireworks than America? I'm about to get racist now. There's no way you guys got that.
China has pretty
I'm
good
not
fireworks.
talking about like the July 4th type of fireworks, right? Like,
Uh,
but if you're talking about like sparklers and all that,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
You
India
guys got better?
definitely- Oh yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
I guess you probably
India.
can't bring those back here on the plane.
Definitely not.
That sucks.
Definitely not. See, we have a whole festival called Diwali, which is all about fireworks.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
Oh yeah. It's all about fireworks.
I feel like a dumb American now.
It's been reduced now because of air pollution,
Mm-hmm.
but it used to be all about fireworks. There's an entire city in India
Yeah.
which has only factories for fireworks, and that's what they do
Okay.
year round. That's what they make a year round.
So did you have at least one kid at your school that had like a missing eye from like the firework festival?
not a missing eye, but injuries were not uncommon.
Oh, from the firework thing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Injuries were not so yeah, they used to every box of fireworks comes with like a
Warning,
safety
yeah.
warning and whatnot, right? So
Hmm.
yeah, injuries were not uncommon at all.
Is abortion legal in India?
Sorry for all that.
Yeah, it is legal in India.
Okay.
I think it's
It's done with a rake. Sorry, I'm not as stuck in the past as you. I'm a progressive.
I learn something new every day. Really cool.
They did that paint festival in India, right? The paint festival, the color festival.
yeah, there is.
I'd like to go to that. That's really cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. That is
Have you been
really
there
cool.
before?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Oh wow.
yeah.
What, a festival where they just paint?
They throw like
they
colored powder
throw
at each other.
colors on each other.
Oh, ooh, that can get a little racy. Okay.
People throw colors on each other, and like it's
Do we have anything similar to like that in America?
Yeah, in
Be a
Pittston,
fun
Pennsylvania,
game.
home of the
Paintball.
loud Italian. They have a tomato festival where they have a tomato fight. That's like a water balloon fight, but people
That's in
pelt each
Spain,
other
right?
with tomatoes.
that's in Spain, right?
In Spain?
Yeah, I think
No,
so.
they do it in Pennsylvania, and it's lousy. I mean, I'm sure they do it in Spain.
But
too.
there's the actual festival in Spain, in Buñol.
where they do that.
Buñol, yeah.
Yeah. Well, then that's my hick-ass
Tomatina,
town's
the
version of
Tomatina
that.
festival.
They actually have a tomato throwing thing in Piston.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's all Italians. Like-
oh really? I didn't
Oh
know
yeah,
that.
the mob was there. The Irishmen, people from the Irishmen were there.
Oh wow.
That's where more of it's set in Philly in the movie, but a lot of it It happened.
Oh, it took place in.
Yeah, that's their big claim to fame: corruption, and it's persevered that sentiment through decades because.
Norristown's known for. You guys ever watch The Lovely Bones?
Oh yeah, Mark Wahlberg. He fucking kills that girl
That
and
then
digs up her corpse and then fucking smacks it on the ground.
That was filmed around here.
We're at the McDonald's. That's where the girl died.
Maybe, yeah.
It was the neighbor.
Yeah, it was
the neighbor.
That was the big claim to fame for Norristown, was that a child molesting murderer was from here apparently.
Nice, you build a statue.
Yeah, we have one. They got taken down due to the protests, but Black Lives Matter came and took it down.
Yeah, they had to put up that. Where's that George Floyd mural?
It's right next to the courthouse. I don't know what the exact street name.
Well,
yeah, because they would have loved George Floyd in the courthouse. Hey, come in here where we could have mass incarcerated this guy if we found him. Holy shit, man! And I'd feel bad for George Floyd living in Norristown because with his nose, he'd have to smell even more of it than us.
Did he live in Norristown?
No,
okay.
But they just decided in a town with horrible drug addiction and crime to spend the taxpayer money painting a guy who put a gun up to a pregnant woman's stomach.
They really made a statue in Norristown?
Not a statue, a painting.
Oh, a painting, okay. Oh, wait, on a wall or just like...
On the street.
On the street, okay.
Which is kind of funny, actually.
Everyone drives over it all the time.
Well, I mean, where would George Floyd not want to be?
On the street.
Yeah, right. They're going to make one of Mike Stanley in a field.
In Bridgeton, do you have any good murals or anything in Bridgeton?
No, there's no. We have
You have the one of that German painter that had a lot of good ideas, right?
It took me a second to get
on a lot of comments on like Instagram.
Those are just on my wall in my house. That's all.
The one of the castle's not bad. It's like a big white castle, great color choice. But
he wasn't a bad painter and he wasn't a bad writer. You know, I mean, there's a page turner.
There's one where it said there's a comment on Instagram that gets posted a lot that says the painter was right. I thought you're right. Picasso with his womanizing, I agree. That's the way he should have been.
Some Picasso paintings don't really hold up. I don't think they're that very good.
I know nothing about fine art.
Neither do I. I haven't been to a museum in so long.
Wouldn't it be cool if like
isn't comedy a fine art? No,
I don't think comedy is an art.
I find comedy to be one of the least valuable social things there is.
If it was, you're not allowed as a comedian to say it out loud.
That's also true.
I don't think music is that much of art.
Comedy is an art.
Don't say it out loud.
Why not?
Because you immediately become a non-comedian. If
so
you
what
call
else is it? Like, is comedy a science?
Comedy is a mistake.
Yeah, it's a reaction. You fart, people laugh. Like it's not like a really.
No, come
on.
It's
I don't
I feel this is so bad because Steve, you're a student of the game too.
Come on, man.
You guys both love comedy.
Yeah.
I genuinely dislike it, and Lucas, it's like a fading marriage.
But why do you genuinely dislike it?
I just don't. I've seen so many bad acts that I resent going now. I just like to hang out with the boys.
See, that's...
Like, how many times when you watch some of these terrible... I'm not going to name names, but there are some of these comics you just have to see. I've been seeing some of these people do bits for years. Some people I even like Luke. And
to me, it's just like anybody can do comedy.
Yeah.
Well, I think some of the female comics
so.
in our scene prove that.
I don't think so. How many comics?
But anybody can. No, but anybody can sign up for a mic. It doesn't.
How many? That's right. That's fair.
And then some people.
I can also take a white paper and like some paints and.
Yeah, but you won't. Yeah, but your painting won't get posted in a museum. But somebody with no material can be.
But that's
don't doubt Shmi.
No, but see, that's a wrong comparison, right?
Is that a bad comparison?
I don't. Yeah,
just being antagonistic.
If you're talking about going to a museum, that's like playing at Madison Square Garden.
That's a great.
I'll make this comparison. Like a comedy open mic is like if you took sports and like just like the guy who was the star of like the college basketball team or the NBA has to like play on the same court as like somebody who's like in their 8th grade basketball team. It's just like it mixes.
Yep. And the crazy thing is everybody thinks they're the NBA guy.
Exactly.
And yes. Everybody has different views of the other people they think are NBA guys. Usually, whoever they're the meanest to is who's really good. But it sucks because someone like Akash will think that that's about him, but it's like, no, you're just annoying. But and there are many other he's not the only one. He's just
It's just I think it's easier. Like you'll see bad comedy before you see bad comedy gets pushed up more than bad music does.
I always say
Maybe that's
that
not true.
People who don't have the guts to people who shouldn't have the guts, like you rarely see a band that it's like, how do they even have the balls to go up there and try that? Yeah. But with comedy, it's like some of these people are so unfunny that it's like, how do you think that people are gonna like how do you
see? That's because you are in open mic comedy, right? Like you're not in open mic music. You don't know what happens in open mic music.
I've been to some of them.
Yeah, I've been to
many of them actually. Yeah. They're pretty bad, but they're pretty awful.
But they're doing a lot of covers.
If I were going to open mic,
Lakshmi, do a lot of covers.
You've bested me, because if I were going to open mic music a lot, I would be complaining about that. I'd be saying, at least I could laugh once. Some of these people play acoustic guitar songs. They'll try to do like.
There's nothing worse than people that can't sing that try to sing. That's the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah, I think that's what keeps a lot of good singers from singing.
Yeah,
and I think that's what keeps. That's why it makes a lot of people who know they can't just sing anyway, because they're like, "Well, who gives a shit?" And it's like, well, that's something you shouldn't be proud of.
Did you guys ever want to try something else besides comedy before you did comedy, or no?
No.
I've tried a bunch of stuff actually.
What did you try?
So
orgies.
For sure, of course.
Yeah.
I was very serious cricket player
through
school and college. Through school and college.
Wow.
Yeah, it was my dream at that time. And then I used to write. I had a blog page. I used to write quite a bit.
Write more. I'd read it. I'd read every one.
Those were probably my two biggest. And I wanted to be good. I was very serious about both of these, and I really wanted to be good. So comedy is probably an extension of writing. At the same time,
you have an incredible vocabulary. And when did you like learn English?
Well, I studied English is the medium of instruction in schools in India for the most part.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. I mean, there are still schools that teach in local language, but good part of India, English is the medium of instruction.
Do they still spank kids in Indian schools, like in American schools, or do they stop?
I don't think so.
They stop spanking kids in the Indian schools?
So.
Well, that's probably what they do with the old cricket paddles.
Yeah.
I can't imagine having teachers being able to hit you in school. That seems like insane.
Yeah, I had a nurse, or not a nurse. When I was in Catholic school, I had a nun. You always hear stuff about them hitting you. The nuns I had wouldn't have they know I would have kicked their asses.
Sister Mary Kelly, you bitch.
I would have if I was 8 years old and a nun hit me, I would have smacked her right in the mouth.
Yeah.
I don't say that with pride.
You should say it with pride because it's an adult hitting you.
You're right.
Adult is not even your parents.
And it's a symbol of Christ, which and even though Christ and I are good friends, I know him very well. But the nuns, he was fucking all the nuns.
No.
You're Hindu, right?
Well, there were no nuns then.
Are you Christ, Lakshmi?
They have
Hindu after all.
Like private, Hindu schools. We have private Catholic schools in America.
We do. So there are a lot of Christian missionary schools in India.
Oh, Christian missionary schools? Okay.
In India, but
so you have Catholic schoolgirls in India too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just that admission.
Could you imagine the pubic hair hanging out under the skirt?
Just that admission is not restricted.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not only for Christians.
Do you think part of the uniform at Hindu school is a clothespin for your nose?
That's the problem with Christian schools in America now, is that they're doing so bad because nobody believes in God anymore that they have to start letting kids in whose family aren't even Christian, but they want to pay the money, Well,
I think people have their kids go to Catholic school because of all the woke stuff going on in public schools nowadays.
Probably.
Because they're do I want to pay $12,000 a year for my kid to go to Catholic school, or have them go to a mandatory drag queen story hour when they're two.
They should have to be Catholic.
I would pull my kid out of school over that. I would be so angry.
Yeah, that's what both.
And people get mad that they don't want their kids seeing that at 8 years old, and it's like, well, don't tell somebody else how to raise their kids, man. Tell what are you gonna Are you gonna start policing religions then too? Which I'm all for. Outlaw religion. Go ahead. Burn down churches.
Burn
down mosques.
They should make kids in school listen to this podcast.
Oh, lightning struck the house.
What'd you say, Steve?
So they should make kids at school listen to this podcast. Fuck it.
No.
Oh.
I don't want curriculum.
Not the Patreon version, just like the YouTube version.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Listen, let me tell you something about education, and I think I'm qualified to talk about this. Kids don't want to learn. Kids actively resist learning.
They do.
So you might as well not even bother. Like, you have some like idiots that are like, think of all the open mic comedy like fucking douchebags that like they think they're like outlaws because they learn about like conspiracy theory. They'll learn about like Waco or something, and they'll think that they're brilliant.
Yes.
And it's like, but you have to. That's how you make idiots learn. Is you don't tell them to learn, and then they'll end up learning.
Yeah.
That's how Andrew Tate got big. That moron.
That's why I was so
Joe
into
Rogan
like,
too, the fucker.
When I did a government thing, I tried to do a thing on Abu Ghraib, and they wouldn't let me do it. They wouldn't let
Corey
me.
Graves.
Abu Ghraib.
Oh yeah.
They won't let me do it. They said don't look that up. And I was like, why not? I want to learn about it. Like, no, you don't have to. And I was like, I still looked it up and I've read about stuff about that. And that was pretty insane. Abu Ghraib.
If I could go back to college now, I'd do like a 20-page like book report on like the Boston bombing not being real or something like that. Just I could do a.
They throw you out of school.
I know. That's okay. It's my money. I'll do what I want with it.
Yeah.
I love that. I can imagine you. So I've been thrown out of 6 colleges. I'm just trying to further my education.
Just trying to get this peer reviewed. God damn it.
Yeah.
Did you?
I got put on academic probation again.
Did you go to college?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
To Stockton.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where I'm from, South Jersey, you either go to Rowan or Stockton. One or the other.
Are there good-looking women at Stockton? I bet at Rowan there were a lot.
I think there's more at Rowan than Stockton.
Were you English major?
No, I was criminal justice.
Ooh, look at you.
You're going to jail, punk.
That was my first major, was criminal justice. I switched to communications.
Yeah,
that's I think it's actually. I think communications is a better major than criminal justice.
Yeah, well,
Definitely.
everyone I know a lot of cool guys who went for criminal justice who now drive forklifts.
Yeah.
Yep.
You could have just saved yourself the fucking $70,000.
Me, I don't drive a forklift, but I watch people drive forklifts.
You fucking pervert, but I
What classes do you take for communications?
Broadcasting 101.
And they don't really teach you that much in any
Theory
of them.
and audio. Communications theory, which is the biggest thing of bullshit I've ever said. It still makes no sense to me. I had a C in it. It was my major. I had C's in it all 4 years.
Do they have podcasting classes in college now?
I think they didn't. I was in the radio club.
That's what we need, more assholes with podcasts.
Yeah. I was in the live radio club.
Yeah.
I was the president of Wider Radio.
The president?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's 3 people in the entire club. But
What's the real idea of a podcast? Like,
what's the what?
What's the real idea of a podcast?
What's the real idea of podcasts?
Mm-hmm.
Just people that want to make money doing nothing. I think that's the real dream.
I think when they started out, they were less censored than stuff
Why
on
did
TV.
Joe Rogan become like insanely?
He's a great interviewer. He gets on my nerves, but he's a great interviewer. He asks questions that a real person wouldn't. He's good at playing he's a decently smart guy who like pretends to be less smart than he is. He's not a genius. That's the thing. The people who can they think he's the people who really like him think he's a genius. He's just a moderately smart guy who asks relatable questions. And the stoners got with him first, and then with the conspiracy theories and everything, it became rebellious to like him. Oh my god.
He's got good guests too.
Oh yeah, he gets great guests.
No, I'm saying how did he become big? How?
Well,
Why? How did Joe Rogan?
He had name recognition because he was on sitcoms, and then he was on hosting Fear Factor, which was a huge show.
So he was already in TV before he did his.
Yeah, he's a stand-up comedian. He was already an established stand-up comedian, and then
But Fear Factor in its
came
day, that was the show everybody talked about. That was as popular as any show.
Yeah,
it was on network TV because that was at like the peak time when like Lost and Survivor and all that gross out shit. Because you'd be able to see people like eating horse semen on TV, and then because at the same time the Janet Jackson stuff was going on.
Yeah,
and it's like nobody was. I look back and it's like Corolla was saying it. The great Corolla. I listened to the old Loveline episodes. Corolla talked.
Have you guys ever thought about
on there? Sometimes he said ice N words about people from like Norway.
What do you say?
I was going to say, have you guys like ever thought about like making your podcast about something? I don't know. I'm just asking.
It's about the mixed experience in the world.
It's about It's about the hatred of open mic comedy. That's what it's always. What's it always about?
That is what it's about,
That's what
really,
it's
when it comes
about, how
down
much
to
we
it.
fucking blows. I had to watch so many of his goddamn sets, and he sucked.
Who?
The mustached fuck.
No, I know.
I don't like hate. He doesn't. He's just.
You don't like hate him. What are you talking about?
He's just the go-to. I hate it. I don't know him that well as a guy. He seems like a fucking piece of scum. But like there are a lot of scumbags out there. I hate his act so much. It's too cliche to just shit on a woman because there are fucking 40 women comics that are indistinguishable from each other that I fucking hate watching. But Pete is just the go-to because it's funny just to say he fucking sucks. It's a shame he moved. I would have him on just to tell him how bad he sucked.
I'm sure.
Sucks too.
Like the basic the concept is with comedian podcasts is that I can't put out a half an hour of material on YouTube, like this way, like we have just something to put out between shows and mics and something to put out there for people to actually watch and take in, since what we do is pretty much just on small stages. I don't fucking know.
That makes sense. That makes sense. That's I think
if someone likes your show, like, and they're like, oh, you can they can listen to your podcast. You have a fan, Otherwise, you have no T-shirt to sell them. No.
Fucking sucks too. She's fucking terrible.
I don't know. I'm
Betty
just.
Smithsonian.
This is just that.
Dear God, she blows. I've had to see her so many fucking times. I haven't seen her much recently, but in the past, I've seen her so many times, and it's just like, oh my God! Just because something's thought up on the spot doesn't mean it's good. And I should know. I go up there with nothing most of the time on purpose.
Who?
But she's terrible. She's terrible. She's terribly unfunny and not that nice either. At least not to me. That's why I don't feel bad saying that she's never been nice to me. And I've
Have you ever been nice to her?
Yeah, I've been cordial. I'm nice to everybody. The only people who don't like me is because of my act.
Yeah. I don't know. You get drunk
I've got to be more of a jerk at these mics. All I do is go up to people and announce that I'm trans all the time. How could they not like me? They're wrong for not.
Yeah.
You're brave.
You're brave.
Well, thank you, Luke. And people say that that blacks are
transphobic.
Yeah. That tracks are blandsphobic.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is you will send people like extremely inappropriate messages at like 2:00 in the morning, and there's two types of comics, like the kind that don't respond, and the ones like us that would just like hard or like give you a thumbs up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hard R.
Yeah.
You guys are the hard R's in the world of GAs. Luke, what are you watching? Fantasy?
Yeah.
You bastard. Did the game even start?
Yeah.
What
How's
game?
Herbert doing? This
Not
guy
good.
finds us so uninteresting on his own podcast. He's looking at his fantasy football team.
No,
What a bastard.
that's not
Now,
the
because
case.
of that, I'm going to bring up earlier Luke Kincaid. Did I talk about this already?
No.
About the gray hair? Stevie.
Gray hair.
So I have this one gray hair that keeps growing in. I made someone at my job pluck it out with tweezers once. But I said to Luke, Luke, do I have can you see this gray hair right here? And because I was going to ask him to pluck it, and he knew I was. And but I was trying to play it off like I wasn't. And he said, no, I don't see it. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't see it? It's right here. And I asked him about, how many times would you say I asked
15, 20 times. 15, 20 times.
15, 20 times. And he was like, Otis, I don't see it. I don't see it. You job-ass motherfucker.
I didn't say that part.
and then Lakshmi comes in. I said, Lakshmi, do you see this gray hair right here? He goes, yes, I do.
Did you see it?
I don't see it now.
No, you can't see it from across the room, but I had my head literally in Luke's. My hair was inches from Luke's nose.
I didn't see it, and if I did see it, I was not going to pluck it out with tweezers.
Why not?
That's gay. That's a little gay.
No, it isn't. It's helping out a friend.
I think it's gay.
It's just on his head?
Yeah.
No, that's not gay.
I think it's gay.
On Friday,
That's
you
because you're not
took
Asian.
your winter hat off and you asked me to like fix your hair for you. That wasn't
did.
gay.
Oh.
You did that, remember?
Oh.
Yeah, I did that. I tried to fix your hair, you know?
Yeah, it wasn't good though.
I don't have your kind of hair.
It's not. I was saying my hair wasn't good.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Lukey Hondro Morales over here.
Well, we're an hour and 13 minutes.
Wow.
So. We can keep
I mean,
going.
Joe Rogan
I was having
does.
fun. I wanted to keep going if
Yes,
everyone's
yeah.
all right.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck, you know. The longer it is, the more ads we can put on it, the more money you
Yeah.
guys make, you know.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
thinking we should watch an episode of a TV show and then record a reaction to it. We always watch a sitcom whenever Lakshmi comes. We were watching 2.5 Men last year on Christmas.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna. Let's put that. You want to put it on Peacock? I'm sorry we don't have a bigger TV, but that's all right. I'll set it up.
So we're gonna watch 2.5 Men, or something else.
Well, we're gonna watch 2.5 Men. Charlie Sheen's gonna have AIDS soon.
And someone's gonna watch us.
The most powerful office bearer in the country.
Not here either.
We
We
have
just
prime
pretend like it
minister.
is.
No, we have a prime minister.
Prime Minister.
Like,
Okay. Cool.
And well,
Did I look bad doing that?
No.
India is a democratic government, but a lot of people think that the current prime minister he's actually done a lot of good for business, so to speak.
Then I'd like him.
Right? Yeah.
Well, this is coming from someone who voted for Kamala Harris, so I don't know what that means.
That means he's locking up a lot of people for small amounts. So could you imagine being caught with weed in India? Oh my God, you'd be done for.
Is that against the law in India?
Sorry?
Can you smoke
Weeds?
weed in India?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not legal. I don't think it's legal, but there's plenty of weed.
Oh, good.
That's good.
I like that. What about like uppers, meth?
Everything's there. Like,
Oh, good.
yeah,
Oh,
everything
oh.
is there.
There's no. Is like an opioid stuff going on in India?
We already talked about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yes.
Yeah, everything
I
is there.
apologize.
Everything's there. It's all.
Luke, you may have a concussion.
Maybe.
Did
So
I
like-
tell that story about what was I? I lost it.
What's it like living?
We
with
discussed the
Otis, huh?
concussion on the last episode, right?
Yeah.
So
Like, Otis is here all the time now because he's out of work for concussion. So whenever Luke comes home, Otis is here. Whenever he leaves,
Luke
Otis
lives
is.
here too.
Yeah.
Or Luke works from home too.
Oh.
From home, yeah.
Oh wow.
So I apologized to Luke. I genuinely felt bad when I found that I was going to be out into December
No, you're good.
because I know Luke can't stand the sight of me.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You're not working at the school anymore?
Well, no, I am. I can't. I'm hurt. I can't. I got headbutted.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
the
got
kid was
hit in the
working
head,
in
so I can't,
self-defense.
the doctors haven't cleared me to work again.
Oh wow.
I've had to go like physical therapy. It's been a hell of
Yeah.
a time.
It's
Oh,
concussion
sorry,
Otis right now. Anything he says during this podcast,
Yeah,
you have to
disclaimer.
forgive because he has the concussion. He doesn't know what he's saying.
I've had several in life, and it's like you wonder, oh man, what if my brain is like clam chowder?
Could be. That's what the CTE. That's the C in CTE is clam chowder.
You know, some more comics need to make jokes about clam chowder and things you could taste. It's really good. So, Steve, who else was in your top 10 comics?
Oh yeah, I said Lakshmi was in it.
Marion.
I think Dennis B was in it.
Of
Obviously,
course.
Leah Renee I think was number 1 because she was the first one to give me a compliment on my haircut. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of who else. Fuck. I really don't. I'd have to go back and look. I don't know. It's not my top 10 anymore. I can tell you that
anybody
much.
here make it besides Lakshmi? Did we notice?
Well, no, I wouldn't want to be on. I didn't
No,
know
because neither of you had seen me recently at that point and hadn't said anything about my haircut at the time.
You're rude.
So, yeah, I know. I'm thinking about making like a least favorite list for Facebook.
Oh yeah, I could have a 50-person list right now off the top of my head.
You could have 750 people list on that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I would say my top 2 bottom comics right now: Linda Barry, Gary Frisch.
I don't know, but it makes me sad
Cut
to
that.
think of like. I hope that somewhere there's some local comedian talking shit on me. You know.
Probably is.
I hope so.
I would assume so.
I hope so. I'd be
think
really
I live in
bummed.
These fuckers' heads,
You know.
which is a sad thing for open mic comedy. It's the equivalent of playing basketball at the gym at the YMCA.
Yeah.
But when I used to play basketball at gyms all the time, I would think about people I didn't like. So
To motivate you.
no, I would just hate them. I would
Oh.
hate them so much. That's why I don't play pickup basketball anymore, because I fucking would get so angry.
Yeah, I hate playing it too. And people would scream at you if you missed the ball. I hate that.
People would talk to you like you're fucking nothing.
Yeah, that's the worst. That's the worst. They did that when I was playing volleyball at the pool. The guy was screaming at people because they missed me. What the fuck's wrong with you? I'm like, it's volleyball.
Marvin Lewis. All right. Well, do we have any parting thoughts?
Lakshmi's on his phone.
Steven Schmade, do we have any parting thoughts?
I do.
Oh, okay,
Go for it. You go for it.
I didn't have one.
Let's go from there.
You have them. You tell it. Talk.
Okay, I do.
What's your
I actually do. So my thought, I'm coming back to what I said a little while ago. I think you guys should make your podcast about something.
We said it's about hating the open mic scene.
Come on, like
we're not positive guys.
Yeah.
No, seriously, that's what it is about. It's about it's like. I've had people say to me that they don't know who any of these comic people are, but they like hearing this.
But
like,
why does it need to be about Philly comedy? Like,
it's not. It's
change.
like it's about our
Make
lives.
your podcast about something else.
About what?
About our lives.
I mean, you guys love sportscasts. You guys love sports. Make it about sports.
These characters.
Well, look at it this way: there's like 1,000 podcasts about any sport, but there's not a lot of podcasts that's just talking shit on specifically Philadelphia comedians. It's very like
it's all jest to it. It's all
no,
it
fun.
Isn't.
Yeah,
it's all good fun.
Yeah, it's a very specific thing. You know, it's not. It doesn't bring a wide audience, but it brings a niche audience of people who really appreciate that.
Niches riches are in the niches.
Yes, yes,
I
they
think
are.
there are definitely a lot of niches in this comedy scene.
Yeah,
at the Comedy John.
You know.
Well, is that it?
No,
should we promote our shows?
We've
got shows coming up.
We've got the Kwanzaa coming up. The Kwanzaa Otis Timlin pre-Kwanzaa spectacular. It's this year's the Kwanzaa inclusion ceremony.
Right.
So we're going to be talking about all the other holidays and why Kwanzaa's better, but we'll still let people be included. There might even be a Grinch there trying to add an 8th candle to the 7 candles on the Kinara.
We have the Black Friday show at Honeybrook.
The Black Friday UK.
Yes.
Nice.
Great show. The Steve Kain and Enemies, right?
Yeah. Come out to Blue Moon Theater Saturday. Was it November 30th? November 30th. I have to host an open mic out in Woodstown, New Jersey, because the regular host called out because he sucks, and now I have to substitute. And I hate doing open mics. I hate being the host, and yeah, it sucks. So
I like it.
Yeah, come out. I'll throw you on stage. I'm not gonna give you the light. I'm just gonna walk away. I don't care. You know.
Lakshmi, do you have any shows when you come back? When are you coming back? February?
I'm coming back at the end of February, so nothing.
Oh my God! I didn't know it was that long. That's 3 months. I
Yeah.
might be dead.
Really? 3 months?
Yep.
Jesus.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody. You have a great one. Take care. Good. Have fun
Happy
in India.
Thanksgiving
Happy
and they
Thanksgiving.
matter.
Have a good night. Have a good time in India.